Okay. Now, what we want to then do is find the common multiple first, the multiple of 5 and 9. So let me just make a little note there. Um, I'll make this larger in a second, but we need the lowest common multiple. Some people call it the least common multiple of 5 and 9. I know that's kind of small, but I'm going to make it bigger here in just a second. Is that big enough to now read, Aaliyah? I'm sorry, can you see that? All right. So to do that, and after a while you do these in your head, but I'm just going to write it down for now. The multiples of 5, and I'm not going to write all of them because it'll take all day. I mean, we'll never be done. I'm just going to write a few until we get the idea of what we need here. All right, so here are the multiples of 5. We're going to start with 5, 10. Jump in here any minute. What comes next? 15. What about after? Keep going. Good. You're right. You're right, right. I can't write that fast, but you got the idea. Let me just move this over a bit here. And I need to make it bigger. Now, whoa, what happened there? And maybe a little bit smaller. I'm just trying to make sure I have enough room. There we go. All right. All right, so the next would be 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so on. All right, now the multiples of 9. Okay. Well, we're going to start with 9. 9 times 2 is 18, so that would be next. 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 36, right? 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. I'm going to stop there because I have a question. I think you know the answer. What do those lists have in common? What's the same on those lists? No, what I mean is what number do they both have in them? What number does this list have in it that this list also has in it? Right. Now they have, if we went on, they would have others, but we want the smallest one. So what we are going to need is a positive 45 and a negative 45. Let me make sure that you understand why I'm saying 45. Tell me what you think. Just say multiple. Yeah, yeah, it's a common multiple. You could multiply um, 5 times 9 to get 45, and you can multiply 9 times 5 to get 45. So we're going to write these two equations like we always do. 7x. Is that hard to find those multiples, do you think? Yeah, it takes a minute. You're right. It's not hard. Did I write it down right? Yeah, 2. And then 8x minus 9y is equal to 17. So what we're going to want is to have these two, let me highlight them. Instead of this be a positive 5 and a negative 5, we want a positive 45 and a negative 45. So let me ask you a question. What would we multiply this equation by in order to make that a 45? Wouldn't we have to multiply it by a 9? So that'll be 9. And then same question, what will we have to multiply it by to make this a negative 45? Won't it be 5? Positive 5, right? Because it's going to be 5 times negative 9. That'll give us negative 45, right? So this one will be multiplied by 5. Now we're going to distribute that. We're going to multiply by everything. We're going to multiply everything by 9 on the first one. We're going to multiply 9 times 7x. Isn't that, I'm going to make a little bit more room here. Isn't that going to be 63x? Okay. So let me get rid of the little thing there. So we're going to have 63x. Then we're going to do 9 times 5y. Won't that be positive 45y? Okay. Plus 45y. And then we're also going to do 9 times 2. That's 18, isn't it? 18. So there's a lot of multiplying, I know, in these problems, but you all have been doing multiplying since you were in like 3rd grade, I'm sure. We're going to do the other equation. We're going to distribute 5 times 8x. Isn't that 40x? Good. 40x. 5 times negative 9y is negative 45y, right? Which is why we did this, so that these will cancel out in a minute. And then we're going to do 5 times 17, which I think is 85. Okay. Equals 85. And so now when we add everything, won't these cancel? Won't they be eliminated? That's the whole idea. That's the reason we did that. So what's 63 plus 40? I'm thinking 103. X, 103x. Oops, all right, let's get a little bit of room there. Yeah, 103x. Give me one more second to get that out of the way. 103x. And 85 plus 15 is also 103, isn't it? So if we divide by 103, you can probably do that in your head. 103 divided by 103 is 1, isn't it? So x equals 1, which is what you got. I just want to make sure that you can explain why we got it. So x equals, I'm pretty sure that's what you said you got, didn't you? Okay, so x is 1. Now, the part I like to call the fun part is, it's fun because you get to decide what you want to do next. You get to tell me whether or not you want to use, let's call it the green equation, I'm sorry, purple equation, or the green equation. Both are going to work. Which one do you think you like better? So I'm going to write that equation that I circled in purple, but watch how I write the x. I'm still going to write 7x. I'm still going to write 7x, but I'm going to put the x just for a moment in parentheses. Plus 5y is equal to 2. Now, we just said that x was 1, didn't we? Oops. So I'm going to erase, and substitute is the right word, but I'm going to call it erase and replace. I'm going to erase the x and replace it with the number 1. Then I'm going to get 7 times 1 is 7, plus 5y is equal to 2. And by the way, this is a positive 7, which means that I've added 7, so now we need to subtract 7 from both sides, right? So if I subtract 7 from that and subtract 7 from that, I'm going to get 5y. 2 minus 7 is negative 5. And if I divide by 5, what will I get for y? You already said it before. Right, which is what you got also, yes? Okay. Now let me just say one more thing. It's good that your sister's helping you, or that you have a friend to help you or whatever. There's some good applications you can use online also. I encourage you to do that, but make sure you can explain what you have done, right? Or write it down, I should say. Or you won't get any points for it when we do the test, of course, okay? So, and so your answer was right, but, and you did it, wrote it in the right way, but remember to put the x first, so the 1 first, and then you did say negative 1, I just wrote on, and then negative 1, okay? Which is what you wrote. All right, make sure you can explain it, something like that. Can you explain this? I'm going to leave this up, and I'm going to record it. I've already recorded. I'm going to post this one. This is slide number 3. So in a couple minutes, you go back and watch this. Pause it if you need to, rewind it, and so forth. Okay. Let me do that now.